Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Boast in the 19th hole. Thank you for joining me here for this rookie refresher. This is going to be a video made for the upcoming 3rd Anniversary Tournament. Basically what I do here in this video is I just cut different holes from past tournaments and playthroughs and put them together into one video so that you can see these holes 1 through 9 and hopefully refresh yourself on these holes and some of the ways that you can play them. Definitely keep in mind that these may change depending on the winds that we see next week. So this is just meant to refresh your mind. And good luck. Hole number 2. This is a par 3. You can play this one with our sniper or a viper. In this instance, you're going to see me play it with the viper. I definitely would strongly recommend the katana ball for its side spin 3. You definitely want all that side spin on this shot. So what we're going to do here is we are going to be playing plus 10% here, max adjustment, max right spin, and we go with about a half a bar of backspin here. We're going to play our landing zone right there at the tip edge of that shadow, that tree shadow. That's what we're kind of landing. And our blue ring is right there close to the edge of the rough line, as you can see. So we make our adjustment right here, which is not very much with 2.3 miles per hour wind. And as you see, we go with just about the right edge of our ball to the right edge of that white semicircle. And the only thing differently I would do here is I would have played that shot with no backspin at all. I played 0.5 backspin. If I would have not used that backspin, the ball would have gone a little bit farther up that hill and then rolled much closer to being in the hole for an ace right there. So hole number 1 here is a par 4. This is a very tough par 4 that'll be very difficult to get the eagle on. But hopefully with these two methods, one of them will work well for you and will help you kind of get you a good footing for an eagle chance here. So the first way I'm going to show you is using the quarterback to the right-hand side. If you have a little bit higher level quarterback, like a 7 or 6, this is definitely a way you can play this hole. You're going to go with the katana ball because you definitely need the extra side spin, the level 3 side spin. We'll play plus 10% here off the tee box for elevation as well. And we have the red ring close to the edge of the rough line. I would definitely change and have be the blue ring to the edge of the rough line because you're going to see we play this shot with our curl and we actually end fairly close to the edge of the rough line. But you're going to notice that we have plenty of room. I mean, the bunker never even comes into play, so we have plenty of room. We can afford to move that shot a little bit farther off the edge of the rough line and make that shot a little bit more safe. But definitely a little bit of overpower on that shot, and you all saw my curl amount. For the second shot here, playing this one with the sniper, and we've got to find our club length here. I'm playing the shot up here at max. I do make a mistake here. I do not add extra backspin. Playing this shot this far up and close to the edge of the green, you do need to add a little bit of extra backspin, which I did not do here. So, you know, somewhere around 2 to 3 bars of backspin, max left spin on this shot. I'd play up plus 10% for the downhill shot here, and we do hit great right as well. But as you're going to see, our spin was not correct here as far as the backspin goes. So add a little bit more backspin to that shot, and you have a really good chance at the ace right there, or the eagle right there. So this method right here is going to be played to the left side with our extra mile. We go max top spin, max right spin. I want you to go with one less bar of top spin than I use here in this example, and you'll see why here soon. Play plus 10% here, and we do push the shot back up, but that really didn't make much of a difference with that adjustment. It really didn't make much difference. So definitely take off one top spin here. And not because you really are in trouble on the drive, but because it kind of puts you a little bit farther down the fairway than you want to be for your second shot. And as you can see here for my second shot, I'm playing this one with the Viper. And you're going to see we're right there on the edge of being in between clubs. We can still make the shot, but we're a little bit closer than we would like to be. I would like my edge of my yellow ring to be on the edge of the rough line. So if we go with one less bar of topspin on the drive, that will give us a little bit extra room on this shot right here. So I'm playing plus 10%. You're going to play with the ball guide. pointed, kind of towards the hole. Just remember the, Viper does not have a fully extended ball guide like the Sniper does, so you don't need the ball guide to go all the way to the hole for it to make it there. We still come in nicely here, and we end up just to the right of the hole, about 1 grid right. With the big topper. So you can play this shot as well with the extra mile with full topspin. You just will not get as far down the fairway as you can with the big topper. So keep that in mind. So we're up first here. We're going to go full topspin. We're going to put some left spin on. Be sure not to over left spin, because if you do, you will lose some of that top spin. And then you do want to try to get every possible yard that you can here for the second shot. So we're going to put a little bit of curl in this one even. And we hit this perfect, so this one should be pretty good. We do want to try to stay as far left on this next fairway as we can to avoid that tree line. And okay, as I see, we have rolled past that, that no-no zone. About 20 or 30 yards back, you will have to end up curling your shot with the big dog to have a chance to get up to the green. You just don't want to take that shot. You can play like my opponent played. Play short and then play your second shot to a point where you can get up to the green for a birdie. So here we see this, got about 1.5 extra rings in play with the wind if we do go full overpower. We went full topspin. Hopefully this is going to be enough to roll through that rough. You can possibly play this one with more curl to the right and try to go to the right edge of that rough for a chip. Let's see if we have enough. Now bounce and roll. All right. Yes. All right. So that was enough from that spot right there. So we have a very makeable eagle attempt here. Alright, so let's see what we're going to do here. We got the Firefly. I like to max topspin this one. And, I don't like that flicker. I don't like that flicker. That's scary when you start seeing a flicker like that. This is an uphill green. And as you see, the ball guide shortened right there. That means that's not a consistent shot. So we're going to move the shot up, take a little bit of the topspin off, and you see we have a much more consistent ball guide right there. So hit it perfect. There's that roll, and all right, perfect shot right there, straight up the pipe. So we got the eagle here to end it. Definitely awesome way to end the string with an eagle. And hopefully. Alright, so we got hole number 7 here. This one's a par 3. I'm playing it with the Viper. You could also play it with a Sniper. Plus 15% will be your elevation change. You can go with a Quasar ball or Katana ball. The only thing that will change depending on what ball you use will be the amount of curl that you add into the shot. So we're going to play this with the Quasar 2.8. We're going to play the shot right off here, off this front little area. We're going max right spin, and we're going to go 4 bars of backspin. We'll go 3.5 backspin. At least 3 is what you want on this shot. And we're going to make our adjustment. We'll play about mid here, so we'll go 1.5 rings of adjustment. And we're going to play about half a ball of curl here. See what this one does. It's coming in. And not too bad right there. Perfect length on that shot. I think we just went a tad too much on that curl. So I would just lighten up on that curl just like a smidgen. Just a tiny little bit. And I think that's a shot that you can definitely dial in for yourselves with the Viper. Like I said, if you do have the Sniper a little bit higher level, that's definitely going to be the better option because it's going to give you more of the ball guide to use. And if you are playing with the Katana ball, that's going to give you more side spin to use so that you will not really even need to use the curl in the shot. With the Quasar ball, you don't have quite the same amount of side spin as you do with the Katana ball, so you still do need to add and factor in a little bit of curl for the shot. But with the Katana ball, you got more side spin, so there's really less need for the curl with that left to right, wind already helping you out a little bit. So, all right, y'all, good
hole
luck.
7 again, par 3.
Catch you all on hole 8.
We're going to try this one pretty much the same as we did the previous time, except we're going to go with a little bit less right curl this time, and see if maybe we can, dial this one in just a little bit better. Maybe give ourselves a little bit better look at that ace. So plus 15% here with the Viper. I do have the Quasar ball in for this one. 5.1 wind. And we're going to play this one pretty much at mid. We're going to go with 3.5 backspin here this time. And we're going to put the back right edge of that red line right up there against the rough as a starting point. We went with mid adjustment at plus 15%. And as you see, we went it back to just with the right edge of the ball, just past the right edge of that circle line. And as you see, we came a lot closer this time to getting the ace. So I think if we have the right edge of our circle in line with the right edge of that ball, I think that's the perfect amount.
All right, hole number 8 here, par 4, extra mile for your driver, and then I like the Goliath for my second shot. We're going to be looking at the rough bump here for this hole. So Quasar ball, Katana ball are your options. I'll be using the Quasar ball here, plus 10% for my drive elevation with the extra mile and power 1 ball. So for this drive here, we got 3.6 tailwind, which is a nice tailwind to have. We're going to play with 4 bars of topspin here. Well, we're going to go 3.5 topspin here and no side spin whatsoever. The shot's going to take us up to right about there anyway. So we're just going to play a regular shot here without any kind of anything. We'll put a little bit of right curl on it just to kind of balance out that right to left wind, but this one right here should put us up quite nicely. And 3.5 topspin, as you can see, is plenty safe to not be threatening that edge of that rough. In fact, you could go 4 topspin on that drive without any overpower and be quite okay. And that's with the level 5 extra mile. So just keep in mind, the closer you land up to the edge of that first fairway, the less topspin you want to use, scaling down from 4 bars of topspin. So anything around level 5 or 4 topspin will be okay. You start going up from there, then you want to start scaling down that topspin. So for the second shot here, we're going with the Goliath rough bump. We'll be playing 0% elevation for this shot. And as you can see, we're going to play this about mid. We're going to play about mid adjustment. And let's see, we got 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go 5.5 bars of topspin here. It plays kind of tricky. So we'll play 1.3 rings. It looks like the topspin will roll way through, but I don't think it will. Hit perfect. And it did not. So one thing that we failed to do on that shot was after we made our adjustment, we did not push up a little bit. So when you adjust down elevation wise, then you got to compensate by pushing up your rings a little bit, kind of like when you adjust down into a bunker. We always say push forward a little bit. It's going to be the same way here for this shot. Now, I think we could be okay by not pushing back up if you added a little bit extra topspin. I think 1 extra bar of topspin for that shot would have been like money in the bank. But if you don't want to risk extra topspin, then play it the way I did. But then I would just push up about 1/2 of a ring after you make your adjustment, and you should be okay. So that would be the only thing that I would change as to the way I played this hole this time. So, all right, one last hole left, hole number 9, and then we're finished. All right, so here we go, hole number 9. Last and final hole. Let's see if we can do it. We're going to go to the right side and hopefully put ourselves in position for a fairly easy eagle. For the second shot in the pro and in the expert, you probably want to use your guardian. If you have at least a level 6 guardian, you can definitely make the shot. And I think pretty much as soon as this one ends, Tommy is going to be beginning. I think he started up his stream, but I think he usually does a 10-minute countdown. So pretty much by the time we finish here, it'll pretty much be time to go watch Tommy play some Masters, which is always fun. And my opponent's going to the right as well. You do want to make sure if you do go right that you don't do what he did. You got to get fairly far down that fairway to have a good, decent shot for the second shot. A little bit worried taking this shot at this point with the lag. So we're actually going to play this one with some backspin. And hopefully we don't spin it into the rough. So 3.6, 1.2. A good sign. Barely got that one off. And didn't hit it quite as far as I wanted to hit it for sure. We'll have to wait and see if we will have the distance to make that shot over. I think we will, because we're going with the rough bump anyway. But that was definitely a close call. When I get those long periods of reconnection, that is basically my wireless on the hospital internet reconnecting, because it does only allow you on for so much time at a time, that it makes you reconnect. Quentin, I would go with, I'm not sure, I can't remember what spin I went with on that one, but I would go with 1 extra bar of spin upwards for that shot. So 3.6 is what we're looking at here. So 1.4 rings. That's going to put me right about right there. And we hit it great to the right, so let's see how this ends up. Nope, that's going to be good right there. Awesome. I am very happy that I was able to show you that shot, and I'm very happy that the lag was not bad for me right there. So if you see what I did, I calculated out what my wind was going to be, and then I looked to see how many bars that wind was going to carry me. And for my calculations, I knew I had about a 1.5 bar carry from my regular power shot. So basically at that point all you do is you just kind of pull your guide forward that 1.5 bars, and from there you can see where your ball guide is going to go. Okay, from that spot you just let your ball guide go back to its regular spot, and then you just hit it perfectly. So hole number 4 here, our next par 3 of the day, we're playing a plus 10%. For our adjustment here, you can go with a Marlin or Quasar. I choose to go with a Navigator because I don't use any side spin on the shot, just one top spin. We're going to play the shot at mid distance with the Goliath. You see my yellow ring right there along the edge of that rough line, and we're just trying to aim our ball guide as best as we can. And actually, let me here, I'm going to slap this and slow it back up there just a little bit, because I want y'all to look at this green line here. As you can see, that green line, and I have the edge of my ball guide right there on the edge of that green line. See? My ball guide right there on the edge of that green line. Now you're going to watch my actual shot, and you're going to see where that actually comes in at. And then from there, you will be able to make adjustments to that shot. So remember, edge of the ball guide, right along the edge of that green line, and then yellow ring on the rough. So now let's see where the shot comes in. From there, we can make adjustments to how we're going to play this shot moving forward. We make our mid adjustment, plus 10 for elevation, 1 top spin, and it comes in bouncing very nicely, and it's going to come in about 1/2 a square right of the hole. So next time playing that hole, I would actually have the edge of my ball guide pointed more towards the middle part of that dark green square to the left. So something to keep an eye on, and that's kind of things that you have to pay attention to when you are trying to dial in shots. Alright, hole number 5 here. We're going to be playing this shot to the right side. I feel like playing it to the right side gives you the best chance, because it sets you up with a shot where you can either go for a rough bump or just a skip shot towards the hole. So we're going with the extra mile here, and we're going to be playing this shot about between mid and min, I would say. We're going to go with the red ring just a little bit into the rough, and we're going to make our adjustment here for the shot. As you see, the right edge of my ball, just the right edge of that outer line, curl-wise, and it's going to be a perfect amount of curl. You do want to make sure that you don't overdo it on this hole. Too much curl, you can catch that rough, but you do need to have enough curl to keep your ball away from that left side of that left rough. So for our second shot here, we're playing this one at a plus 10%. So we're looking at the rough bump here. We don't have it. You might want to bring your Hornet if you want to go for the rough bump on this hole. So we're going to play this one with the thorn. We're going to go with a bounce over shot. We go 1 back spin and 1 right spin. And then, from what we see here, we can make adjustments to those spins. We make our adjustment there. It's about mid-range thorn. Hit perfect. So this one will give us a really good visual of what we have to try to do. Looks like a pretty good straight patch of the hole, just not enough speed. So we went with 1 backspin there. I would definitely change that to no backspin, no topspin. I would have just played that one at regular. You definitely would change your spin depending on how far you are on your drive. So if you're bouncing farther back, you may have to change that a little bit as well. But for that particular shot, I probably would have been better served playing that one with no topspin and no backspin. Alright, last and final hole here, hole number 9. Hole number 9. Definitely very important to bring your big dog to this hole. I'm going to play this hole with a quarterback. And then for my ball choice, I go with a Titan ball. You definitely need to have that extra distance for the second shot. 0% for the tee shot, and the second shot, 0%. So I'm going to show you my opponent take his shot here first. Now, my opponent is going to play his shot to the left side. Now, it's very important, if you're going to play your shot to the left side, that you play along this right-hand edge of the fairway. You need to land it somewhere, well, not there, but you need to land it somewhere along this right-hand edge. And then you need to get your ball to stay as far to the right as possible. From that spot right there, you may have a chance at the green. But if you end up anywhere left of this line, you're really going to be in trouble to reach the green in 2, or even give yourself a decent look at the green in 2, playing it to the left side, which is why you will not see many people play that way. So my opponent goes full topspin to right spin here. He really should be using a Titan ball, for sure. And he should be using full curl, so he should be definitely playing curl into this shot. You see, he hits it perfect, and you're going to still see, even with a perfect shot, where he ends up. He's way too far to the left-hand side already on that bounce. If he had set up that shot closer to the right-hand side, he may have had a chance. But even with 367 yards for his drive, he's still going to be in quite a predicament. Alright, so for my shot here, we're playing this one with 3 to 4 backspin, max right spin, and we're just going to try to look where our shot's going to land, right about in there. So we're going to aim our shot back there towards the edge of the rough, let the wind do the work, and then use the curl. With the backspin and the right spin, that will bring our shot in quite nicely and get it to stop right there. And that gets us very close up to the front edge of the fairway. The closer you get to the edge of the fairway, the better chance you have. So here you see you have 2 options here. Depending on your drive is really going to tell you what you can do. For me, I was able to get pretty close to the front edge, so I can actually go for trying to land my shot on this fairway, which can get me to the green. If you don't have quite as good of a drive, you'll be landing your shot more back here with full topspin, and you'll be ending up somewhere in this area right here for a wedge chip at the hole, like you saw me in my my Tour 5 tutorial videos earlier last week. So it's very important on the drive to get as close to the front edge of that fairway as possible to give yourself a chance to land on this second fairway to get to the hole. That's why the Titan ball is very important as well, for sure. If you're in the rookie and you know you need an eagle, as much as I hate to say it, you could probably pull out a berserker ball and guarantee yourself an eagle on this hole if it comes to that in the weekend round. So as you see here, fully outstretched, it doesn't look like it's going to make it, right? Or it's like, you know, it almost looks like I'm going to clip the rough on this shot. But what you're going to see is I make it quite easily, actually. Put a little bit of right curl to counteract that right to left wind. And as you see, we did make it. Not by a lot, but we did make it. And we hit great. So with a perfect shot, you know, we're even a little bit further, you know, over here, you know, to the right of where we actually landed. As you see here, we're going to roll up onto the green, and once it hits that green, it's going to roll. That downward slope will take it down to the hole for a very easy eagle. So, appreciate y'all joining me for this rookie refresher for the upcoming 3rd anniversary tournament. As I said, these were holes taken from previous walkthroughs and tournament play. So, what we see on Monday may change from what you see here, but this was done to serve as kind of a helpful reminder of what these holes look like and some of the ways that you could possibly play them once the tournament rolls around. So hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Set up your notifications so that you can be alerted when I release new content. Alright y'all, check us out on Facebook at Golf Clash the 19th Hole. Have a great day and God bless.